So you know the Say Her Name hashtag that was created back in 2015 after Sandra Bland has died. And, you know, it's been used many times for sisters like Corin Gaines. It was used for Tatiana Jefferson, recently used for Breonna Taylor, you know, because we are the people who spearhead movements. You know, we, you know, get trends going, etc. But, you know, the Trump insurgents, now they're deciding to try to do what they normally do, attempt to steal. I say attempt to steal from black people once again, because they don't have no mind of their own. You know, they claim they're superior, but they can't come up with anything on their own. Like, I thought that's what superior people do. Superior people are great at coming up with new things. They don't have to look at other people's things and then jack it, right? So many people on Twitter have been calling them out. One person on Twitter said, you see how our movement is mocked and hijacked by the very system that is the cause for its creation? He said, this woman is and was a terrorist. He said, we will not say her name. Now, they're mentioning that Ashli Babbitt woman. Now, I saw some text messages from her husband prior to her going to the Trump, you know, insurgency, right? And her husband has said, I don't really think you should be going. And she said, nah, I'm with some great patriots, you know, and I'll watch my six. I'll be all right. So basically, she's rebellious. If she would have stayed at home with her husband and her family, she would be alive today. But she chose to go over there. She chose to enter the Capitol building. She chose to try to climb through that window. And that officer had to do his job and protect, you know, the lawmakers, and fired only one shot, not 20, one shot, hit her in the neck. She was done. Now that's a cop that know what he's doing. Not these, you know, local cops that got to shoot you 20 times. Just one shot, neutralize the threat. I don't see anything wrong with what he did. And do you know that this particular cop is actually under an excessive force investigation? How was that excessive force? She was trying to enter a restricted area in the Capitol. What else was he supposed to do? Once he neutralized the threat, everybody backed off. You understand? Now, I looked at the video. It looks like, and I slowed it down, it looked like it was a brother that shot her. I saw the hands and I saw his head real quick. It looked like it was a brother that did that. I can't confirm it, but it looked like it was a brother. And I said, oh, that's why he's under investigation? Because, you know, in this system, they love it and they want to fight for it so hard. It's because they have an immunity from law. You understand? It is an immunity they have. No matter what they do, they're slapped on the wrist for it. Let me give you an example. In this country, black people are ruled with an iron fist. They're treated with Mickey Mouse gloves. Understand? This is why, you know, you seeing the charges coming out on them, you know, unlawful entry into a federal building, you know, charges like that. No terrorism, no sedition, no treason. No, it's just little light charges, which will embolden them more to say, oh, hell, if we can just go in there and I'll go get some trespassing charges, man, we can go do worse. You know what I'm saying? Instead of making an example out of them like they would have done black people. Now, do you know over the summer about some Confederate monuments that Attorney General at the time, Bill Barr, wanted to try to charge black people with sedition charges for some Confederate monuments, not going inside the Capitol and having lawmakers, you know, dug down and getting well know that if they would have got to them, they would have harmed them. They definitely threatened Speaker Pelosi. They definitely wanted to get at AOC, for sure, them two. They were screaming, hang Mike Pence, supposed to be the vice president, and you talking about hanging him. Now, if you look at this tweet, look what this fool says. Her name was Ashli Babbitt, Air Force veteran murdered by the state. Say her name. I'm like, no, she was not murdered by the state. No, she wasn't. If she would have stayed at home with her husband, see, this is why women that have this feminist attitude, women that got this rebellious attitude, things like that may happen to them. She just stayed up behind at home and stopped acting so freaking manly. Her man was at home. Now, there's one tweet that I'm going to look at, and I'm definitely going to talk about this because I've been noticing something too. So they say on the death of Ashli Babbitt, they say CNN stops the video as she breaches the window and is shot by Capitol Police. Say Don Lemon, astounded, said, we showed Ahmaud Arbery, we showed George Floyd's murder on TV. I think we should show this woman being killed and say, show what happened. Now, I told you all that they do not like to show white death, okay? They do not want that normalized. They want black death normalized, but not white death, okay? This is why if you try to show that on YouTube or whatever, you can get that your video possibly either age restricted or for sure probably banned. They don't want to show it on TV, but they'll show George Floyd, dying in a loop. They'll show, Tamir Rice in a loop. Anybody, Philando Castile in a loop, because they want to make sure to keep this country used to watching black people die. You understand? So it's not so horrific to this country. But this is what we can expect for sure. And like I said, we will talk about, her and the way that death is a little bit more on our website, as in one of our videos we have planned for the week. We'll show it, but we're not going to show it here on YouTube. But these people can't come up with their own things. And then that's just like normal. So what you guys do on Twitter, especially black Twitter, you just drown them out. You call them out. You meme them to death about how they can't do nothing on their own. That was good police work. That's what I would say. It was a justified shooting. The officer feared for his life because there was an angry mob coming and he had no choice but to, defend his life. I mean, he was in great fear of his life. He was trying to protect the Capitol. What else was he supposed to do? Maybe if she would have followed the law and not went into the Capitol unlawfully, maybe she would be here today. Why was she being a thug? I mean, take personal responsibility. So what are you crying about? I mean, are we supposed to defend criminals? I mean, come on, guys. See, this is why people don't take you seriously, because you want to defend criminals. I don't think people should get killed unjustly, but come on now. We can't defend criminals. I mean, if we defend criminals, then what about the innocent people that get killed unjustly? See, this is what messes up your movement. It's because you want to defend criminals. What was the officer supposed to do? He has a family too. I mean, he's supposed to get killed by a group of terrorists and insurgents? Like, what was he supposed to do? He had to go home that night. You understand? I mean, so no, it's not no say her name. It's like good police work. Give him a honor for doing, what he was supposed to do to defend the Capitol. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about, this story with them trying to hijack, say her name. And like I said, y'all get on them on social media. They're not going to do that, because at the end of the day, we have to legitimize things. You understand? Don't let nobody fool you. We legitimize movements. They don't.